I didn't expect my post to go viral, but here we are. I found this interesting poll, which also censored the word Nazis because it's 2023 and it's social media, so we can't just outright say the things we talk about. We have to censor a letter because that is progressive and American. But within this poll, it asks which one of these characters from Breaking Bad is the most disliked. Now, take into account the question is which one do viewers hate. It's not which one is the most evil character or which one is the most morally redeemable. No, it's like which one appears on the screen and it causes displeasure to the viewers. And as you can see, Skyler manages to get 74%, while the other characters that are Nazis and a drug lord barely even register. So why is that? And the way I explained it is that Skyler is a massive control freak. You get to see this from episode 1, where she decides that even on Walter's birthday, they are going to have vegan food. They decide which credit card Walter is allowed to use and whatnot. She is nagging him for having 2 jobs, even though she doesn't have a single job. So she's not contributing at all to the family income, while her husband has to demean himself as a chemistry teacher to actually be at a car wash and have to wash the tire of his students, something that is very difficult for Walter's ego to handle. In fact, I would say that the main reason that Walter does break bad is, number one, to actually feel like he does something for his family, to feel like he actually left a legacy. And number 2 is because this is a man that has no ego. Like, his wife just destroyed the entire ego throughout the marriage, and now he has something to prove to himself. And when he actually starts realizing that things are going his way, and he realizes that he has potential, it is addictive to him. Because, like, for once in his life, he realizes that, oh, well, I can actually do things. I'm actually good at things. So if Breaking Bad was from Skyler's point of view, it would call How to Break Your Husband's Mind. Now, take into account this is just in the beginning, but as the episodes move on and as the show goes on, you notice that, well, Skyler commits criminal activity too by cooking the books. She sleeps with Ted. She then steals the money from her husband, which would have allowed them to start a new life. She tries to take away her husband's entire house. Like, that is also something interesting, right? Like, even though it's implied that he paid for that mansion, she wanted to take the mansion, right? So, when you look at all of these, why do people hate Skyler the most? Well, people don't really interact with drug lords and Nazis. Like, this is a foreign concept in the life of most people, but the idea of a self-centered woman that is breaking a man's ego and is very controlling, and she wants to steal your house and all of that, that is very visceral for most American viewers, because if they haven't experienced, at least they have heard of someone that's like that. And due to this is why they dislike Skyler. Now, the left is trying to spin this as misogyny. But notice how people do not hate Kim in Better Call Saul. Or there are other women in the shows that aren't even nearly as hated and disliked as Skyler. And the showrunners probably noticed that, which is why they changed the character of Kim. So it has nothing to do with misogyny. No, it's like this particular character is detestable. Now, of course, this has nothing to do with the actress. In fact, I think she made a very good job, because when you actually make a character dislikable as an actor, that's part of your skill, and that's a really good thing, because you need to get the people watching to experience emotions, to experience feelings. But I do know that the actress also complained about misogyny and sexism and whatnot, which is complete horseshit. Again, given the fact that Kim in Better Call Saul is a perfect character, and she doesn't have any of the faults that Skyler does. Now, another reason that people bring up is that this is the show from the point of view of Walt. So if it was from the point of view of Skyler, it would have been different. I completely disagree with this, simply because Hank is a beloved character. Like, despite the fact that Hank is antagonistic to Walter and also tries to stop Walt, he is not viewed with the same dislike that Skyler is receiving. And there are many other characters in the show that are antagonistic to Walt, and they're unable to get on Skyler's level. Gustavo, like for example. Like he's an antagonist, yet only 1% of people dislike him. There's also another important point to mention, is that some of these characters, like, because the left is like, oh my god, Nazi, the most evil thing in the fucking world. It's like, look, first of all, as I mentioned before, like, most people do not interact with Nazis on a daily basis, but secondly, they barely got any screen time, and they're supposed to be villains. Like, when you look at Uncle Jack, he is supposed to be a negative character. When you look at Todd, he is supposed to be a negative character. And it's also the fact that they're only there for one season. And they don't have that much screen time. Meanwhile, Skyler is there from season 1, and she's got, like, so much screen time that it's very annoying whenever she's on screen. Some people said that, well, it's because Skyler is ugly and Kim is beautiful. I think that is subjective. I do not think that Skyler is an ugly actress, and nor do I think it would actually matter. If anything, one could say that Walter is marrying upwards, and maybe this also leads into his insecurities in the beginning of season 1 and why he feels the need to prove himself. Also, you know, another interesting thing about Skyler that I didn't discuss is when Walter is diagnosed with cancer, immediately she makes it about herself. Like, for 1 second, she doesn't ask Walt what does he want. It seems that Walt is a little bit resigned with the idea that he's going to die, and he doesn't even want treatment, while Skyler tries to push him to get it. So, it's probably another reason why he was keeping it a secret from her. But yeah, like, I genuinely, like, do not see much in what Skyler has that would make you appreciate her as a character. I guess, like, the only thing is that she loves her children, which is a good positive trait, but other than that, like, again, seeing how your husband has 2 jobs and you nag at him when you do not want to get any job and to help with the family at all, and then you steal your husband's money, you cheat on him, you try to take his house. I mean, you know, like, some of the things are understandable because she found out that her husband is a criminal, but that completely goes away the moment she starts committing crimes herself. Especially the theft, right? Like, a lot of people talk about cooking the books, but, like, she actually stole her husband's money. Which, you know, you can say, well, they were from illicit gains or whatever, but she didn't take them to take the money to the cops. No, she took them in order to fix her own problems. So, yeah, refusing to communicate, another big issue. Like, a lot of the drama in the show could have been alleviated if Skyler just spoke with her husband. So yeah, the idea that, oh my god, it's misogyny, it's such a ridiculous dumb take. Especially when there are so many other female characters that are beloved by fans, liked by everyone, and do not suffer the same level of displeasure that Skyler does. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.